Hello and welcome to 420 Live with Jeff Kravitz. I'm your host, Jeff Kravitz. Welcome to our daily dalliance. We come to distract you, take you away from all the little things in the world that are eating at us. All those questions, what to do in a pandemic, what to do with your life, how to assimilate back into society. Today, I'm going to start the show, unfortunately, with a little bit of sad news. I had a friend, her name was Patty Dickinson. She was married to Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, the lead singer, and she has passed away tragically. A lot of people at MTV that I worked with over the years knew Patty. She was a beautiful lady, and our heart goes out to the Dickinson family and the kids and all our friends that knew Patty right now. And it's not easy times, I think, for a lot of people. And, it's even worse when you get hit with tragedy. And not to dwell on tragedy, but today is also the third anniversary of losing the great Chris Cornell. And I put a little share up on Instagram of some of my photographs. And I just wanted to show you guys some of the pictures of Chris so you guys can remember him. Here he is with his wife, Vicky. This shot is a classic, one of my favorites. This is from a Rock for Choice event. He was always doing the charity events with Soundgarden. You can see my friend Jeffrey Mayer there in the bottom, ducking from getting kicked in the face from Chris's foot. But this picture, I mean, it just says it all. The crowd, him, just a great moment. And this is also from that show of him just rocking out. Oh, Rip Magazine party, not Rock for Choice. Rip's fifth. Sorry, Lon Friend. Did a lot of work. This was actually backstage from a Rock for Choice event with the Soundgarden guys. This was also from the Rip party. Same night. This is with the Spinal Tap guys backstage. Joe Satriani is back there with the dealer cap on. Chris Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, and Soundgarden guys. And here is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. That's Mike McCready with Hart. Hart got inducted. Chris inducted Hart into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And here he is on the red carpet with the guys from Audio Slave. That's Brad or Brian on the side there, I believe. And Tim Comerford. So Chris Cornell, great singer-songwriter. But again, tragic loss. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I guess that's kind of where I'm going with the start of this show, is that there's a lot of people out there that need a lot of help right now. I read a thing my friend Alan Laszloff posted in Thailand. They have more deaths from suicide right now than from the disease. So where is the trade-off on what's happening? I know there's a ton of questions out there. Nobody knows what's going on. You don't know who to trust, but I digress. Not why I'm here. We're here to entertain. We're here to distract. And in that vein, I want to introduce our guest today, Andy Frasco. I've been on the Crash Frasco course, catching up on his life the past 24 hours. His new album is fantastic. The song Keep On Keeping On is just an amazing piece of work. It's gospel-y, it's soulful. It's like not, I saw Andy live. I have some of those pictures we're going to look at a little bit later. Back in the day, but let's bring Andy in. Hi, Andy. Sorry, dude. Sorry to interrupt your 420.
I didn't know when you're gonna call me. I'm hitting a bomb or like a.
I like it. What's that attachment there?
It's a crack pipe. I'm smoking crack, Jeff. No, it's like oil. I don't know. They're trying to get me into oil. I'm like a flower guy, but it's a little strong for me. It's like, whoa, but.
Can you temperature control it and dial it in and all that?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Can you temperature control it and dial it in?
Sorry, you got some stream issues.
I'm having stream issues on my end.
Yeah, you keep on breaking in and out. Maybe it's my shitty internet, but
it could be one of us. So are you hearing every other word?
No, now I hear you, buddy.
Oh, good. All right. It dials in. I'll be in and out like a AM radio. You know how technology is.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
You've been figuring it out on your own. Your pandemic pivot has been totally inspiring. How has your transition been? Because you again, you're like me. You started this the middle of March, really, where you started. I mean, you had your podcast was a weekly thing, right? The World Saving Podcast.
Yeah, I had a World Same podcast now for about 3 years. I'm on season 3 now, episode like 86 or 87, and yeah, my friends, I have a lot of comedian friends, and they're all doing the Twitch game. So I was thinking, well, I might as well start a talk show for my scene. And so I just started learning OBS and started making videos. One thing led to another, and now we're on episode 10. So it's pretty fun.
That's the shit show you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I mean, you become like your own Saturday Night Live host.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. I got my whole squad. My friends flew in from LA that I've known since middle school who work in like Naked and Afraid and a couple HBO shows. And we're just a team. We're quarantining together and making bits and just trying to make the best out of it. You know, this quarantine, it could get the best out of you, but if you stay busy and you keep smiling, you know, we could get through this thing.
So you were you had the new record came out, and then the pandemic hits. You were about to go out again. You're always touring, and you were just about to go out and do another batch of shows.
Yeah.
And had the rug pulled out from underneath you.
Yeah, man. It's fucked up. But, you know, it was a blessing in disguise because I needed a break. I was doing 250 shows a year.
Wow.
The last, 13 straight years. So I've been living in a van, just, you know, grinding it out and just trying to try to fulfill these dreams. And, you know, as a independent artist, I rather, if I'm not going to get a big old record deal yet or whatever, I'm going to just keep working and keep smiling and keep, you know, I'm going to create my own destiny. You know, I've always been like that. So until everyone catches on. So,
well, the money's not in the record deals anymore. They don't exist.
No way. There's no money anymore, but it's nice to have a big old machine to have your back instead of you making all the marketing plans and you making all the fucking crazy videos. And
but then you make all the money.
It's true, but I also want to have a life too. You know, I work.
Right.
All I do is work. I work 14 hours a day. It's sickening.
Yeah, your live show, the energy it takes to put on that. I mean, when I saw you live, I'm like, what? This guy? It's 11 o'clock. It was a Grand Doozy.
Yeah,
it was 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the morning. You're already bottle of Jameson on the stage, and I was like, wow, this guy. And then I shot your set. I watched it, and I was like, amazing energy. I mean, where do you channel it from, and what are you doing with it now?
Oh, I'm a psychopath. No, I did. You know, I look at bands like you just put up Chris Cornell. Look at the energy he put on stage, and Eddie Vedder, and those guys who just put everything out on stage. Because I don't know about them, but you know, maybe they're releasing their anxiety on stage. And I get tons of anxiety. Speaking of mental health, and in May, you know, the Mental Health Awareness Month should be every month, but I'm glad we're celebrating it in May. And yeah, just, you know, I'm depressed and anxiety ridden. And so I get to like let all that out for those 2 hours, and I get to be present. And that's why I'm addicted to live performing, I think.
And how has the transition to the webcast? Because that's only once a week, right?
Once a week. It takes me about like 40 hours to make them because we're writing concepts.
Wow.
I'm building out the whole show. I'm making the games and stuff. You know, it's a lot of work. I mean, I feel bad for, like, I'm just doing a show once a week. I feel bad for the motherfuckers who got to do like a late night show and have to like be creative every night on those late night talk shows and stuff. That shit. I mean, kudos, the real heroes over there. So.
Well, who's your inspiration? Who's your favorite?
I love Howard Stern. Howard's my guy. Yeah.
But your show's very slapsticky. I mean, you're almost like I don't know. It's more like a comedy routine.
Totally. You know? Yeah, totally. You know, I love talking about dick and vagina and like, you know, I love all that stuff. I think that stuff cracks me up. So I'm just another filter, you know, like getting through my anxiety. I love performing, and I love showing people who I am on the inside. And then we talk about mental health, and we talk about, you know, how hard it is to keep a band together for so long, you know, keeping a group of brothers. I mean, this is probably the hardest part of quarantine is, you know, seeing your brothers not have work and stuff. You know, with me, it's easier because the band name's Andy Frasco, but for some of the other guys in my band, like a bass player or a drummer, it's very difficult for them to find work in this pandemic. So we just got to have each other's backs. And if I got to work on our talk show to help pay everybody, then that's what I'm going to do, because those guys are my boys and we're in it together, you know.
And you don't have a little band either. It's not like 3 guys.
10 motherfuckers, dude. It's killing me.
So how when you tour, is that all on one bus, or are you guys on 2 buses? What's your situation?
We're in a van, baby. We're in a Sprinter van. No, yeah, but we're flying a lot more. I mean, the last couple of years we really started popping off, and now we fly more, which is nice. But yeah, we're in a Sprinter van probably for another year, and then, you know, I'm Jewish, so I'm going to go to that bus when we last have to. Save that money, Jeff. You know what I'm talking about. You're a Kravitz, dog. You're a Jewish dog.
Trust me, I'm looking at every dime right now. What do you think I'm doing? I'm not going to have any concerts to take pictures of.
I mean, that's probably the hard part, too. I want to play psychiatrist a little bit as well. And what are the photographers doing to stabilize a living right now?
Well, some guys are scanning in their archives and organizing, because one thing that photographers are the worst of is like, oh, I'll get to that later, and next thing you know, you're on to the next shoot, and stuff gets shelved for a long time. So we're home, I'm home, so it's a lot of focus on that. For me, I've been focusing on the show personally, because I think that it's going to be a long while before I get to the point where I'm going to be going to events. I mean, Hollywood's canceled for the year. I do a lot of Hollywood events. You know, so it's I'm having to redo it, and all my friends, they're out of work, so a lot of guys are on unemployment. And the thing about photography, Andy, just like music, like if you wanted to have a music career years ago and you didn't have a record deal, you wouldn't have a deal. And it's the same thing with photography. The technology's changed so much that everybody's a photographer, because everybody has one of these, and they're using it, and information travels differently. In the old days, I would be one of the only cameras inside, and when my pictures got out, they got out. Nowadays, my pictures don't matter, because some guy in the front row is going to shoot it on his phone and get it on Instagram, and that's going to go viral. And there, my moment is gone. So it's gone from the hands of the professionals down to everybody, which is kind of better, I think, for news and information, the way it travels. But it's changing technology. It's just dumbing down the process. And when we come back to our jobs, which are kind of based on old technology, because the camera, the whole concept is kind of old technology. I don't know what it's going to be left, because we're going to be doing so much different stuff. So
you just need to block everyone's view in the front. That's it.
Well, I'm 6'4". I'm tall like you, so
I'll be like 6'4". I'll be your bodyguard. I'll start slapping phones out of the way, because Jeff shot. Just start bitch slapping everyone.
Yeah, then someone get a picture of that, and that would go viral, of course.
Jeff Kravitz's bodyguard slaps a poor cancer patient phone.
Hey, I was assaulted by Axl Rose's brother, actually, in the 80s after an MTV show.
Well, like he beat you up?
Yeah, well, he shoved my camera in my face, and then he tried to grab it, and we played tug of war with it. He wanted to smash it to the ground. And yeah, it was a little heated moment.
Has anyone asked you to film porn?
What was that?
Has anyone asked you to film porn?
To film porn? Oh, I've done all kinds of stuff in my day. I haven't filmed it, but I've shot like the video box covers, because a friend of mine was an editor, and he would they would just piece together, like they take 4 porns and turn them into like 10, and they would piece them all together and then change the names and then shoot different art for all the covers, because people would just buy them based on the covers in the shop.
Yeah, no one's lasting an hour and a half on that shit. They're beating off and getting the fuck out of there, dude.
So
Did you make money doing that?
Yeah, well, it was back in the day. It was a photo shoot, you know. But yeah, they made money, because that was the way. Like I said, information traveled in a day. Everybody would have to get a VHS, and that was new technology back in the day. That's probably before your time a little bit, right?
Oh, I remember VHS. I used to have to hide them in my spank bank. My mom found them. And they're all
really?
And like crusty, because like, you know, when you press eject, you still have like semen on it, and then like you bring it in back into the cum drawer. My mom found that shit, and she was disgusted. It was like, she was more nervous about that than COVID-19. You know,
I'm sure she didn't know what you would get. Oh, and that reminds me of something I heard on your podcast when you first started, where the promoter calls you up to cancel, and his complaint, they're saying that they got concerned from the crowd and they asked you not to crowd surf because of your hygiene. People felt they would get the COVID.
Yeah, people. I mean, my manager sends me so many videos, and he's so neurotic. You ever meet my manager, Brian?
Yeah, I have. Brian's been to my house, so I've met Brian before.
Oh, nice. He's so neurotic, and he's just like my dad. He's like a Jew. He's like my father. Like I wish I could record all these conversations where he's just reminding me to like wash my hands and shit. Like,
yeah, I heard his recording too, where he's like, "Hey, we don't know what's going on, so wash your hands." And
yeah, he's insane. That's why I love him. We're perfect for each other.
But it's pretty classic. The guy was like, "And please, you got to wear shoes."
Yeah, you got to wear shoes
because you perform barefoot all the time, right? That's your preference.
Yeah, man, I'm barefoot. I'm jumping in the crowd. I mean, I'm definitely not COVID proof, so I'm probably fucked before. They're gonna put all like the songwriters and the songbirds and shit first on stages, and then I'll probably be the last person they'll put on stage.
What? You haven't been offered the drive-in? Are they starting to do the drive-ins yet?
They started doing the drive-ins. I'm back and forth on the drive-ins. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it's for my style of entertaining. But if I could incorporate the shit show, if I can incorporate the shit show and like all the sketch videos, and maybe if I could build a show. Oh fuck!
Like a live show.
I could build like a variety show that I could use a big old screen for. Then I'll be interested in doing it, but we're gonna get back here soon. We're gonna fuck.
Well, I drove by this Mels Diner. I'm sure you live in LA, so you lived in LA, so you know Mels Diner. They opened one on Lincoln Boulevard in Santa Monica in the old dental office. It was a Coogee design, and they took it back and made a diner out of it. So I was driving by today in the Santa Monica, and it said car hop service, and I was like, car hop service and drive-ins. I'm like, we're in the freaking 50s. He made America great again.
Dude, Trump just said we're going back to when the boomers were 25 years old, and we're going to make them feel comfortable so we can get a re-election. No, I don't know.
Drive-ins and car hops. I mean, give me a break. I mean, we're
next in one of those things.
What's that?
A drive-in.
No, have you
do that? Where I don't like. I'm 32, so I just missed the drive-in thing. But are people like you're there to hook up, right? You're in the car.
Well, yeah, but then you would also go with your you might go with your some friends and get stoned and watch the movie. You can sit in the car and hotbox, and it had a really shitty speaker that you would hang on the wall in the window. That it sounded like shit. But it was unique. It wasn't the kind of thing you wanted to do over and over again. If you had a choice between a movie theater and a drive-in, you're definitely going for the movie theater.
You're doing it for the vibe, the experience.
Right. And now, I guess, because they want to figure a way to social distance stuff, I mean, Live Nation is desperate to do shows. They need to figure out a way to get their business back on track.
Yeah. Yeah. And they got to figure that out.
How's Denver getting back on track?
I mean, everyone has been chill. The parks, people are partying at the parks, but it's not that crazy. I mean, they're all really intelligent out here. Everyone sticks by the rules. They know that for the common good to stay inside, and that's what we've been doing. And we're almost out of this thing. I think we start coming back out of it like next week. I think we could leave our houses and start actually living a little more. So
are shops and restaurants open yet, or
next week they open?
Everything opens. Yeah. So Denver's a little bit behind everybody else, I think.
Yeah. I mean, a little front of California, for being a bigger city, we're probably in the 5, 6, 7, 8 population, top population. So yeah, so for being that many people and everyone following the rules, we'll see how it goes. We're really gonna find out here how contagious this motherfucker is when we back.
The next couple of weeks, I think, are the Petri dish, right?
Yeah, let's see what's Gucci. It's kind of like you're testing out the waters. Like, ooh, it's kind of warm in here, but there could be fucking anaconda in that down in the swamp.
So I know you're a huge LA guy. You lived in LA for a while.
Grew up there my whole life, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I lived in the porn capital, Canoga Park,
Sure.
West Hills. Yeah, my first job was taking care of a porn house, right in Chatsworth. So It was awesome. I got to watch porn. It was not actually kind of ruined my porn experience, but I mean, I still watch porn.
Well, now it's all homemade.
I know it's kind of hotter that way. It kind of feels like real life. But enough about me. What about you, Jeff? How's everything?
Well, what? And then why did you move to Denver?
I moved to Denver to get closer to Brian Schwartz, my manager. He's like, you should move to Denver, and I was like, I don't know. And then I just like, you know, it's like I'm just a commitment phobe. I never wanted to live in a spot that I actually loved because I felt like I'm just gonna leave and I was gonna be sad about leaving. But I finally committed to a town I really like in Denver. It's fucking awesome, and
Yeah.
everyone's super. The music scene is so super supportive, and we all got each other's backs. Like they're all helping me make these videos and letting me use their venues and like, you know, just they invite me into their community, and I'm fucking pumped up about it. So now,
there's a huge amount of musicians that are living in Denver now.
Huge amount of everything. Real estate people, Denver music people. You know, just it's a really cool arts town, and I'm falling in love with it. I wish I moved here the week before. I bought a house, and I moved in the week of quarantine though. So I haven't really got to explore as a townie, as they say. But,
right, but at least you've been able to empty all your boxes.
Fuck yeah, dude! I'm loving it. I got a house. I never lived in a house. I've lived in a van, literally. I'm not joking about this. Since 18 years old.
You lived in a van.
Back to my mom's or go back to my old childhood bed. But nothing like my own place. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. But there's a fundamental issue, though.
Tell me.
You're a Lakers fan. How's that going down?
How's that going? What? Like
I heard people are trying to what do they call it when you're trying to switch you? They're trying to make.
Oh yeah, they're trying to make me have a decision. Well, the decision's already made. I bleed purple and gold, Jeffrey. I always bleed purple and gold. That's my squad. I mean, I cry still. I watched the game. I watched Kobe's game. I watched some random game. I cried.
How was your whole Kobe just took it out of everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I found out Kobe died like 20 minutes before I started my set at Panic on the Playa with Widespread. And it hit me. I thought it was a joke, and it wasn't. And I was just crying because that's like my biggest inspiration of all. That's my guy. He's always been my guy. I was a mess. I looked myself in the mirror. I'm like, you're not going to ruin people's vibes, Frasco, because you got to turn it on, make people happy. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's what you're born to do. So I just fucking gave it. I threw a Kobe, dude. I threw 81-point Kobe in Mexico.
How'd you feel after that set?
Oh, man. Well,
you left it all up there, I bet.
I left it all up there. My parents were there, and they were so proud of me because they knew how much Kobe meant to me. Like I would cry for Kobe games. Went to his last game, like I cried. Like I followed his tour, his last like 6 games, and I cried. You know, I follow them. I go to about 25 Laker games a year. So
wow,
yeah, I love them. I love it. So when it happened, when my mom knew, she was there. She saw me in my eyes. She started crying and shit. And then right when I got on stage, I ran to my room and just cried because I'd never really mourned like that before. I never really mourned like that for a family, but Kobe, I mourned, and I was just a mess. And
it was so tragic.
So tragic, and the kids, you know, that's the worst part. He was with his scared daughter, you know, that's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, poor, you know, the bad news, and you know, everything said, what I've been reading on the internet, everything went to shit when Kobe died, and they're kind of right.
Yeah, they whoever's up there when they're planning deaths or they're planning destruction, I think he was trying to say COVID, but the guy who wrote it probably put Kobe, and he had to go first. But I'm glad Kobe didn't have to experience this. So.
Tough stuff. Talk a little bit about your Camboy video, which is hilarious.
Oh man, I mean that's what we are right now, Jeff. If you're a Camboy too, bro. We're all Camboys.
It's not a little different connotation.
I mean, you sell what you sell. Some people sell the dick, some people sell their face. You know, I know cam girls who make a living just playing video games with people.
Right. You don't even have to take your clothes off. People sit there, watch you play video games.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And it's like, it shows how lonely we're getting. and how all we need is a friend. It doesn't matter if it's from video to video. I mean, you don't need touch. I personally need personal interaction, but younger generations, you could see that they just need a buddy, So if someone's there to play video games for them, or for me, if I'm here to pump you up and send you some videos of making you smile and getting you going, then that's why we're here. I mean, we're just trying to entertain, to keep people present and keep people from doing harmful things to themselves because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and I also like the "we're fucked" $4.20.
Good, thanks, man. Sarah McLaughlin. Shout out to Sarah. I've always cried, not cry, but I'm like, damn, this is intense, dog. So I wanted to do that for musicians because they really are suffering. Like drummers, like I was saying earlier in the podcast, drummers and bass players, those guys who don't lead bands, who aren't the vocal point of the band, are kind of getting screwed through this whole live stream thing and the whole isolation because they just gonna hit a drum so we got to think about everybody right now, and that's why I think that's the most important thing this quarantine taught me is to care about everyone and not just selfishly myself or selfishly my band, or we got to think about everyone here. So
what, have you got any offers to come back yet?
To where?
To play. I mean, people are already in some of the markets that are allowing shows. Has anybody been like, will you entertain? What is your, when's the next time you think you're going to play?
I mean, I heard I might play in June. I'm in Idaho.
This June.
Yeah, they're they haven't canceled. They just opened up. They're going to see how it goes in the next couple of weeks. So I'll be a soldier. Whatever.
Well, yeah, you're on stage. Where's your band? Are they there in Denver with you, or are they all over?
They're all over, so they'd have to fly too. It's it's a big step, and if I'm going to be one of the first bands to do it, I got to make sure it's safe. That's
you jumping on a plane?
I mean, it's only Wyoming, so I'm getting everyone on in a band in a plane. But I've had people here who flew and stuff. I mean, it's safe, it's clean.
Yeah. What's your take on the whole thing, Andy?
What take?
On the whole COVID and because when you look at the numbers, when you look at the stats, even though we even with us, the numbers are incredibly low for the kind of changes we made to our entire world, and half of me wants to believe that there's something out there, that there's some kind of danger that is out there, and then half of me thinks that it's all could be a load of crap. And I flip-flop in the same sentence, in the same thought. This is going on and it's not going on. I just see everything opening now. It's just really bizarre to me because when I've seen some videos of people in nightclubs and in Scottsdale partying, and like nothing happened. So someone saying,
Jeff, you conspiracy theorist?
No, and someone's saying low 90K dead. I'm not saying 90K dead's not a lot, but 90K dead out of 300 million people, when you look at the average, it isn't a lot. It's not like it's not, you think you stop our whole lives when you look at how people die of starvation, how people die of drug addiction, how people die of obesity. There's a million different things that people are dying at. We've never stopped the world because there's 14,000 people dying a day of starvation, because they're not the third world countries. So they're not in they don't cost, there's so many issues in the world. It just seems really strange. So I don't know. I mean, that's why I hate to talk about it, because it's so divisive,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's, going back to the drummers and bass players. I think we just need to think about everyone here, even the people who don't get really sick, but the people who do get sick and who have low immunity. And if we don't have a cure or a vaccine, then yeah, it is a serious deal, because they'll just keep on getting bigger. But like you said too, I hear what you're saying. And I don't know. I just think we need to just be smart. And I mean, what's 3 months out of 100 years we live?
But is being smart playing the first show you can in June in Idaho because they let you, or is it waiting until we see what happens?
I don't know. It's like the same thing as opening a restaurant, or opening more things. You slowly build more things to open up, And if you can't open up venues or outside events by June, then you don't. But it's just part of the unknown that we're in. Like, I've never lived through a quarantine or a bad flu. I mean, maybe our great grandparents did from the Spanish flu, so maybe they have a better answer of how to reopen. But that shit was like in 1904, 1914,
1918, right? The Spanish flu. So
we ask like our old homies, what's up? And if we can't ask them because it gets sick from the Rona, then we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks, hey, it's way too early. Like, if you think about it like that, it's way too early. But then you think about everything else. It's like, why isn't everybody just opening in the herd immunity, if that's even a thing? I mean, anyway.
But you see what happens in Europe and stuff. I mean, we're so far away from what's going. Like, Europeans, I mean, we're more fucked than those guys are. We have no plan on this. No one knows. No one has a plan right now. And so I like, when I feel like I have anxiety about us Americans don't having a plan, I look at like countries like the Netherlands. I look at countries like Spain, and I look at countries like, a lot of the socialized countries, and hear their prime ministers and hear their leaders. And so I could have not just what our leaders are telling us, I have another perspective on what other leaders are telling their people. So,
well, but who do we take the direction from? Are we take it from the leaders, or are we taking it from the scientists? I mean, I think that's part of the process. I don't know if you saw 60 Minutes this Sunday, but they had the guy on who got fired, who was head of the medical thing, who Trump said he was disgruntled employee. I don't know if you saw that, but
yeah, but there's more medical people in other countries too, like that work with their governments. So it's like, all these scientists are getting, like in a lot of the European countries, Americans are getting the same information. It's just who's actually publicizing the information. Then it's
and also who's acting on the information, which I think is pretty much what the problem is. Yes, Dr. Rick Bright. Thank you, Gary. Dr. Rick Bright. Yeah. He was the guy who was unceremoniously dumped because he was questioning. They wanted him to approve the hydroqualacin for everybody. Anyway,
or what?
What's that?
I stopped watching the news. This is why I'm happy, because I stopped watching news. I stopped watching television, and I started just creating.
Right.
And I think the minute that we just start doing things like that and not obsess ourselves with the unknown, I think the unknown gives us anxiety because we're not present. What can we do now to be better people in this second? Right now, for me, for being a better person, I want to learn how to make people laugh through videos, or I want to learn how to do a talk show. Like, I think we need to stay present and stay focused on how we're going to make each other better people. And I think one thing about the quarantine is optimistic is we are changing, and we do need to change a little bit because we're selfish.
Well, and now we get a chance to focus and get the things done that we've been sitting on the shelf for years, and to kind of clean out our closets.
Like overworking. Like, what? I know it's hard and we want to make a lot of money, but like, I've been doing fine without money right now because I'm not trying to spend money. I'm just, we're just doing our part to just be better people, I think. And I'm learning so much about myself because I'm stuck with my thoughts. You too, probably, right?
Right, of course.
When we overwork, we keep ourselves distracted from all the suppression we have from our childhood or from yesterday or whatever.
Well, and we overthink things too, and we're also looking at, there's so much different news coming from so many different sources, and I think when you can't trust what you're hearing, I think that's where my ultimate rub comes from. So, it's definitely a different thing. What do you got on deck for your podcast coming up and for your shit show?
I have Shaky Graves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing him on Tuesday, and then next week we have Theo Katzman. The Shit Show, I have Billy Strings, David Shaw, and His Golden Messenger. And then that's for this Thursday. And then I do the Saturday dance party with Peter Shapiro, where we do a live stream where we get everyone, like 1,000 people in a Zoom chat, and we just get people on the stream, and I'm dancing with them, and we're just like trying to make it interactive as possible so people don't feel like they're doing this alone.
Right. It's a lot of fun. I tuned in last week, and You got the crowd going. I mean, your energy is infectious. You're infectious.
I'm just trying to do my part, big dog. Like you, Jeff.
Well, just trying to make some noise and trying to take people away from it, even though we got a little political there. I mean, that's part of it too. I find every conversation I'm in goes, it's a little bit of fun, it's a little bit of reality, and it's a little bit of fun. But, you know, we're all trying to distract each other from what's going on right now because we're hanging out. And, you know, you're a communicator like I am. And we have things to tell people and share with people. But you do such a great job of coming up with the ideas. How's your writing process for the comedy bits go?
Man, me and my boy Danny, we in Dolov, we wake up Monday and we just start brainstorming different concepts. Like what would be funny? Like we did a thing about you know, bushes being back, you know, dicks and vagines and shit. And so we just like, let's reenact a movie with a famous bush scene. And so we found Scary Movie and this big old bush. He's trimming the bush. I was the girl that he's trimming the bush on, so I'm not like sexist. and then like this week we're trying to do it. It's gonna be a hard one, but have you watched the Michael Jordan doc?
Yes.
We're gonna try to mock the doc.
Wow.
And be part of the film. Be like one of the. I'm not gonna ruin it for anyone, my fans listening to this, but it's gonna be fun and it's gonna be hard. And my acting career is on the line on this one. So.
How are your chops? Like, I guess they've gotten better quick.
I'm like a B+ porn star acting. So it's like, it's real shitty, but you know, some people might still come.
I guess some people will always come.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. The whole pivot has just been such an eye-opening experience for everybody. It's just been such a, I don't even know. I mean, you're rerouting your entire life and doing things you never thought you would do. How's your cooking skills?
Oh, I still suck. I can't cook for shit, but I'm getting good at the air fryer. But ever since my boys came here, they're like amazing cooks. They're like, they wouldn't let me. Yeah, not say they wouldn't let me because they try to teach me, but.
You're not a.
My brain is not there. I'm not a cook. Like I just learned how to do laundry, Jeff. I learned how to do laundry about 4 months ago.
A new thing for you because you're always sending it out. I guess every time you're on the road,
I send it out, or you know, my mom loves me, so whenever I visit home, she'll just do all my laundry. I'm a 32-year-old child, dog.
And your dishwashing skills, how are they?
Oh, I love it, dude. I put it in this dishwasher. I just got a dishwasher. Dude, these things are amazing. Like you put the dish in and it cleans it.
And then you pull it out and but then you got to empty it. Do you empty it or you just use them out of
I love it. I love when it's warm. I get to hold it for a second and then put it in. Like that shit's awesome. Like I'm learning how to be a human on this quarantine.
The interesting thing that is to me, the revelation is that all these rock stars, all these sports stars, everybody that's had smoke blown up their ass all these years, everybody telling you how great you are, and now they're home. They're with the kids. You know, I talked to Mr. Stasek, our mutual friend, and he was telling me that he never realized how much gets done on the weekend that he misses when he's not there, and how important he's finding his role in the right, Ryan, his role in the situation. Ryan would want calling you a bachelor.
Well, Stasek is in a league of his own because he is a badass. He's got a badass wife who is like hardworking. They're both hardworking people, and like for Stasek to come home and see what his wife does, or like not even just Stasek, all musicians. Like when we travel so much, we don't see all the other shit other people have to do to keep this life of dad on the road or mom on the road lifestyle is. So yeah. Like it just makes I mean, I talk to Stasek and like he's just so proud of his wife and stuff. It's fucking awesome. Like,
well, Mary Welch is a badass.
Oh, she's a badass, dude. Brian, you know, Brian Schwartz brought me a lot of people, but like the people I'm most grateful for is like the guys like Ryan Stasek who are like big brothers to me and like who've done the scene, you know? So
well, now
Stasek, he's got the biggest dick in the jam scene, dog. I've seen it. Just
yeah. Well, I was there when he had to wear the Borat outfit in Jamaica. They made him wear the bore out bikini, and I actually let him use my razor so he could trim down the bush. That's where we really bonded.
Let the bush fly, Stasek. You're in quarantine. That bush better be huge, dog. Send me a pic. I'm testing the bush out.
All right, I got a couple pics here. I got some photos.
Talk to me, Goose.
This is from Grand Doozy. All my pictures from Grand Doozy. I guess it's the only place I've shot. I'm sure some of my other photographers have gotten you at a couple places. But I'm just it's unbelievable, your connection with the audience, the crowd. This was an early set, maybe 12, 1 o'clock, and everybody there. Andy is the center of attention. He's in the crowd doing the hurrah in the crowd.
That's me, dog.
Are you reliving your bar mitzvah here?
Every day, every damn day.
Your bar mitzvah every day?
Yeah, I like doing the horror. I don't do the horror as much, and I guarantee you this, like after COVID, this probably won't fly anymore.
No, most of your act, I don't think flies.
That's a cool shot. Yeah, my uncle Bob Ross.
and having a little drink. Here you are midair with the bare feet.
Yo, I was fat back then, dog.
You got your day down. Your guitar player. What a talent.
And amazing.
Just great. A ton of fun. Your audience, everybody in it. I mean, and when I listen to you, and everybody with the middle finger up, get the middle fingers up.
Get the middle fingers out.
on the stage.
Awesome.
Posing it up.
Yeah, wow.
Frasco doing his thing.
It's me pointing at something.
You're toast.
I'm always pointing at something.
It was, you just had it. You had it going. And your band is so tight. I mean, how much
time?
I
appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. We're just trying our best to play as good as we can. And so shout out to my band for being badasses.
Yeah, all great guys. And Andy's always doing the Kickstarter on his not the Kickstarters, the PayPal and all that on his page. So you get in there and get involved and support.
Blazing over there?
Boy, Andy.
What are you smoking on?
What do you guys got?
There's bad connection here.
I get smoke. I'm going in and out. Huh?
Oh, I can see you now.
I know it's weird. I'm delayed.
Thank you. Hey.
I think I'm delayed here. Whoa, hold on. Let me take me out. And here's me. Huh. I don't know. Something's going on here. Frasco?
I'm here now, bud.
All right. I'm having some kind of little technical difficulties, but you can hear me all right?
What? I hear
you. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, your band, a total inspiration to everybody. Your live show, I mean, we miss you guys live. It's just been so hard to not have the live music in our world now and to not have the release. But what you've done for us, the way you've built a community and spread your message of love throughout the world is an inspiration. And do you have any advice for me for my show? I mean, yeah, I know you do this a lot. And now he's frozen. Let's see. Is it just me? I think I lost the Frasco.
Hey,
there you go. Oh, you're there. Do you have any advice for me for my show? Because I know you're getting very good at this.
Get as much bandwidth as you can. Buy the big package, Jeffy. I know we're Jewish, but you got to buy the big package. On the internet. No, just keep being you, Jeff. I mean, that's all you can be, right? If you keep being you, they're gonna love it. So just keep doing your thing, man. And I appreciate you having me on.
Well, thank you. I think it's really hard for guys like you and myself to not be authentic because I can't really, we can't be somebody else. You're already bigger than life when you're up there on stage, and now you're contained into this little box here. But you're still spreading the energy and the love. I thank you for coming on today. I look forward to tuning in. Everybody, make sure you're following Andy Frasco and check out his shows, The Shit Show and the World Saving Podcast. Very, very entertaining. Thanks,
Jeff,
Andy.
Love you, buddy. Have a great day, pal.
All right. Take care. All right. Thank you, Brian Schwartz, for making that happen. I really appreciate that. Andy was great. We had some technical difficulties. I got in over my head in politics. That's why I don't talk about that shit. But thank you all for tuning in. It was a great show today. I believe tomorrow, I better check because I don't want to talk out of school. But okay, we got Ari Fink on the show from Sirius, not Osiris, Sirius Radio. Good. I just saw it, Ari. So yes, we're good. Ari Fink's on the show tomorrow. We're going to do a little fish pregame because 97, we got a 1.0 show for all our fish heads out there tomorrow. And also I have the incredibly knowledgeable Missy Beaver who's going to come on and talk a little bit about training world and nutrients. She's really into the micronutrients and amazing stuff she's doing for health and for our well-being. Because, I like to keep it well-rounded. It's 2 for Tuesday tomorrow. So we'll talk to Mr. Fink. We'll talk to Miss Beaver. On Wednesday, we got the Twiddle guys coming. Twiddly-dee, twiddly-doo, twiddly-dum. And on Thursday, because that comes after Wednesday, still, even now, is Spafford. Brian from Spafford's going to be here. They got a big show next week at a drive-in. We were talking about the drive-in shows today. So the Spafford guys are going to be, Brian's going to come in and talk about that show. And on Friday, I can't tell you how excited I am to have Justin Kreutzmann on the show. Him and I have been brainstorming ideas for a little playlist to give you guys a little insight into some of the way he grew up with the Grateful Dead and into his new drummer doc that he's working on. I have an unlisted phone number. He told me me and John Densmore and I are the only two that he knows with unlisted phone numbers. So I guess we're kind of in that same vein. We're here for you guys every day, Monday to Friday, and I am working on the programming. Next week, I already have Chromeo lined up, and I'm working on Scary Pool Party and John Shank coming on, and, it's constantly reaching out. I'm always open to ideas from my friends. Let's talk about a couple of our friends. Solo Pipe. I'm sending Andy Frasco and his crew a couple solo pipes for being such a great guest today. I really appreciate them. Solo Pipe Venice, check them out. They're great product. Asher's Chocolates, you get 15% off if you use the code 420live. If you need to sweeten up your life, we all need some nice milk fat. I talked to Katrina today to see if the milk fat's not vegan, so maybe dark. And I don't know if it's vegan, but most people that I know that are eating chocolate aren't really worried about it because they're like, as we said earlier in the air, we lost Patty Dickinson, Chris Cornell's anniversary of his passing 3 years today. We saw the pictures at the beginning of the show. If you missed it, you can go back and see the beginning of the show there. Backline.care. We got to take care of each other out there, folks. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, I want to make sure that we take care of ourselves. Also, this weekend, we have live from out there. Our friend Ian Goldberg, they're going to show some summer camp shows. This would have been the weekend summer camps coming up. So all our friends from that neck of the woods. Yes, it is the future of entertainment. Hello, Mark. Thank you, Bob. You're welcome, Nikki. Yay, Lauren's excited for Ari Fink. Yeah, I talk out of school. I can't help it. Andy motherfucking Frasco. Great guest, right? And Finkerton. Oh, today we're on Periscope, so I'm glad that's working. I'm seeing the Periscope feed come in. So it's the first time I've done the twatter thing. Healing Energy Arts, you are welcome. Thank you for tuning in. The Fro Ambassadors on Facebook. Mickey, we will give them a shout out. You are welcome, my friend Danny Camp. Yes, the name of the band is the UN, Andy Frasco and the UN. Check Andy out. I was laughing so hard. There's Curtis, my man. Classic was the crowd carrying you to the wave pool at the Peach Fest. I miss it. I haven't been to Peach Fest. Yes. Andy surfing from the mushroom stage into the wave pool. There you go. John was there too. John Siva. We went to high school together. Me and John and I went to high school together. Well, everybody, thank you there, Mr. Wallace. I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's a pleasure. I to come into your houses, your phones, your computers, and for you to give me some space in this life where you're so overloaded with so much information. So thank you for making time for Kravitz. We'll be here every day at 420. I don't have anywhere else to be right now. I did go to Vegas this weekend, and that was really scary. I don't recommend it, but I picked up my electric bikes from my Burning Man camp, and I'm going to have to clean them up, and I'll be buzzing to work on that thing. And thing's fast. Anyway, For you guys out there, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Do the right thing. Hydrate, medicate. Don't eat too much sugar. Peace, love, happiness to everybody out there. Here's the hug. Boom. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Ari Fink, Missy Beaver. Tune in.